Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into an ancient epic that honestly serves as a pretty incredible blueprint for navigating modern ethical dilemmas. We're looking at the story of the return of Prince Bharata. But, we're not just treating this as some dusty ancient history. We're going to unpack this story as a literal masterclass in emotional regulation, radical loyalty, and the absolutely liberating power of forgiveness. It's an ancient lesson completely built for a modern audience, and it shows us exactly how to act when our entire world gets turned upside down. Okay, to set the stage, let's look at this brilliant metaphor from our source material about a lion cub raised by sheep. Imagine this cub grew up calling a ram father. He grazed with the herd, entirely oblivious to his true, powerful nature. But then, one day, a huge jungle lion roars from a nearby hill. Every single sheep scatters, but the little lion, he just looks up, and it suddenly hits him. Wait, how could I have run with sheep for so long? This is the absolute perfect analogy for our protagonist, Prince Bharata. He's been living in this state of innocence, but a massive crisis, a roar from the jungle, if you will, is about to wake him up to his true ethical obligations. And that brings us to the profound question framing our entire explainer today. What actually happens when our internal moral compass gets suddenly jolted awake by a crisis? Do we panic and run like the sheep? Or do we stand our ground like the lion? When we face a situation that tests our absolute core values, the way we respond kind of defines our character for the rest of our lives, right? So keep that question in the back of your mind as we watch Bharata's story unfold. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, A Kingdom in Ruins, the Betrayal and the Crisis. To really grasp the urgency here, look at this frantic 4-day timeline. Horsemen ride out from the city of Ayodhya at dawn to summon Bharata back home from his grandfather's kingdom, and they are pushing it. These riders are overtaking the winds. Their black horses are literally pounding through haunted forests and leaping across dry riverbeds. They ride so hard they create this massive wall of dust that completely shrouds the sky, reaching Bharata at midnight like a thunderclap. This whole frantic timeline completely foreshadows the terrible news waiting for him. Fate is dragging him home, and it's doing so with terrifying speed. And this is the heartbreaking reality that hits Bharata the second he arrives. He and his brother look down at their home city, Ayodhya, and the contrast is just staggering. In the past, the morning air carried the scent of wines and faint perfumes. The streets were vibrant and just flooded with light. But now, the streets are completely empty. There's literally rust forming on the half-open palace doors. It's so quiet, it's as if Lord Shiva himself is walking abroad in the dawn. His beautiful, vibrant home has been completely drained of life, and Bharata immediately feels this heavy dread sinking into his heart. Then, the awful truth finally comes out, delivered by his own mother, Queen Kaikeyi. Bharata discovers his father, the king, has died from grief. His beloved older brother, Prince Rama, has been banished to the forest for 14 long years without committing a single crime. And the most sickening part of the whole shebang, his mother orchestrated the entire thing. She used 2 ancient wishes to exile Rama and secure the throne exclusively for Bharata. He realizes in a flash that his mother's political maneuvering has basically handed him a blood-stained throne. Which leads us to Section 2, the burden of loyalty and rejecting the ill-gotten throne. So, how does he react to this massive, world-shattering betrayal? With an immediate, visceral rejection. He runs straight to the other queens and his family's counselors, falls to his knees, and declares his total innocence. He demonstrates radical loyalty over his own personal ambition. Think about our modern world, where power and possessions are so often chased at literally any cost. Bharata's reaction is stunning. He essentially calls his mother's actions the whim of a whore, and flat out refuses to accept a promotion that comes from the unjust downfall of his own brother. But here's where it gets complicated. The wise counselor, Vasishta, steps in to give him a harsh reality check about the stakes of leadership. Bharata just wants to walk away, but Vasishta lays out exactly what happens when a land is left without a king. Without a leader, the environment suffers, no rain falls, families break apart in shame, charity just completely vanishes, lawlessness takes over, bandits invade, and even their ancient stories are lost. Basically, Vasishta is telling him, look, your personal outrage is totally justified, but you can't just abandon your people. A leader has to step up to prevent total societal collapse. And you have to notice how sorrow is defined here. It's not just sadness, it's a toxic, destructive force. Vasishta urges Bharata to perform his father's funeral rites to help the kingdom process this collective grief, warning him that sorrow literally deforms our thoughts. It smothers the heart. It has physically made the once great city of Ayodhya unbeautiful. This is the very force Bharata is actively battling right now, both inside his own head and out there in his kingdom.
And that brings us to section 3, the weight of resentment, the cycle of suffering.
Because even after performing those funeral rites, Bharata's internal storm is nowhere near over. He's completely trapped by his grief. He emphatically states that he will never forgive and he will never forget what his mother did. He actually demands to know from Vasishta exactly how his mother will be punished in her future lives for this betrayal. And honestly, it's a highly relatable human moment. When someone we love deeply wrongs us, our very first instinct is usually to seek justice, to want them to hurt exactly the way they hurt us. So Vasishta outlines this terrifying, escalating karmic sequence of punishments. He tells Bharata that his mother will doubt life itself. She'll become a mad beggar eating dirt from a skull. In another life, she'll be a disgraced teacher who betrays her friends and starves her servants. She'll poison wells, refuse water to the thirsty. And finally, in this very life, she will die before ever getting to see the banished Prince Rama return. It's an absolutely brutal, chilling picture of spiritual ruin.
But then we hit the turning point. Section 4, the power of forgiveness. Breaking the karmic cycle.
Bharata has just had his ultimate revenge fantasy totally validated by his spiritual advisor. But then, Vasishta drops a profound, liberating choice on him. After listing all of those horrific karmic punishments, he adds one critical caveat. All this will be her lot, unless you forgive her, Bharata. Talk about the ultimate test of leadership. Bharata suddenly realizes he holds the absolute power to break his mother's cycle of suffering. Her punishment isn't set in stone after all. It rests entirely on Bharata's capacity to just let go of his resentment. And with just 2 simple words, the entire narrative flips. Bharata says, "I forgive." I mean, wow. This is a total masterclass in emotional regulation and deep ethical alignment. He doesn't say it to condone what she did, and he's not giving her back her power. He says it to break the cycle. By forgiving her, he frees himself from the crushing weight of that resentment, and he saves her from eternal spiritual torment. It is this incredible act of radical grace in the face of the ultimate betrayal. And this reveals such a profound truth about compassion. Vasishta responds with this amazing insight. Forgiveness isn't just about making yourself feel better or offering some empty gesture. Compassion, when used as an active tool, used to accomplish spiritual freedom and literally break a cycle of suffering, is supreme. Bharata doesn't use his forgiveness as a weakness. He wields it as a supreme active force to heal his broken family line. Which leads us to section 5, taking the righteous path. Action aligned with values. Now that his internal conflict is resolved, Bharata knows his external actions have to align with his values. He can't just sit around in an empty palace, so he vows to take Rama's place in the forest for the full 14 years of the banishment. He gathers this massive retinue. We're talking 9,000 war-mounted elephants, 6,000 chariots, archers, whole families, and they all march out of the city under their flag to go find his banished brother. It's the ultimate physical manifestation of his loyalty. He's literally bringing the entire kingdom to the forest to tell the true king to come back. Along the journey, they reach the edge of the forest and run into Guha, a local forest leader, who initially hides from Bharata's massive army, thinking it's an invasion. Guha decides to test Bharata's true intentions using this ancient divination. He shakes 9 bird bones 3 times and asks fate, "Rama is my friend, who is Bharata?" And the bones tell him not to hinder Bharata, confirming that his intentions are genuinely pure, that he truly is a friend and a righteous man just trying to correct a massive wrong. Once Guha realizes they're allies, he welcomes them and shows Bharata the poignant physical evidence of Rama's exile. He shows him the hard, rough grass where Rama actually had to sleep, the silk threads caught on branches from his wife Sita's robe, and the spots where his companions rested. And this just brings Bharata face to face with the harsh, undeniable reality of his family's fractured state. Seeing the physical toll of his mother's betrayal makes Bharata sigh in the dark like a smoldering tree. And as Bharata stands there, just completely overwhelmed by regret and wishing he had never left his home in the first place, Guha offers him this incredible piece of ancient wisdom. He says, "Time does what he must. We can't change the past. But when time does us wrong, our luck lies simply in surviving. We're lucky just to live on and get another chance at him." Basically, we always get another chance to do the right thing today, completely regardless of yesterday's tragedies. So, as we wrap up this explainer on the epic ethical lessons of Prince Bharata, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on for your own life. When the roar of the lion wakes you up to a crisis, how are you going to respond? Are you holding on to resentments that deform your thoughts and smother your heart? Or will you, like Bharatha, step up and choose radical loyalty and the supreme, absolutely liberating power of forgiveness? The choice is always yours.